Hi everyone, it's April here and welcome back to another video. This video is actually a pretty special one today. It's a collab with Emma Carpenter. We decided to get together and do a little collab on how we make our studio vlogs. So if you head over to Emma's channel before you watch this video and watch part 1 over there, her part is all about the thought process, kind of how she films and ideas and stuff. I mean, to be honest, I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it when it comes out on YouTube. But her part is part 1. My part is kind of more tutorial based, so if you're just looking for a tutorial, you're in the right place. And if you're looking on how to make studio vlogs as a whole, definitely check out both parts. So I'm going to be talking more about kind of how I edit the studio vlogs, and I'm going to go into specifics on Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects. I know that not everyone has these programs, they're expensive. I happen to get them with my work, so I'm very lucky, I don't have to pay for it. And I'm going to do most of my work on the computer, so it is going to be quite a lot of voiceover and screen heavy. So yeah, make sure you get a cup of tea and a notebook if you want to take notes, and I'll see you on the PC. So I thought we would pop onto the computer so I can go over some like tips and stuff on how I edit, and I'm trying not to make this too much of a tutorial, more of like a list of tips and stuff. So the first thing actually isn't about editing, but it is about filming any videos really, and that is to have a second battery. So I got a second battery maybe a year ago, and it like changed the game really, because you don't have to worry about your flow being interrupted, you don't have to worry about waiting like 2 hours for a battery to charge. You can just pop a new one in, charge the old one while the new one's getting down. And I've literally, sometimes on days where I'm filming like a lot, I can switch batteries like 2 or 3 times. So definitely get a second battery. It might be a little pricey depending on what camera you have, but well worth it. So the next thing is kind of a general tip, and that is to edit as you go. So when I first started making videos, I would collect all my footage and I would edit at the end of the week. And I know that a lot of people do this, and I also hear a lot of people complaining, or maybe not complaining but mentioning, that it takes a long time to edit, that they have all this footage that they have to take out half a day or a few hours just to edit a video. And it is annoying, I know. And about a year ago as well, I decided to edit every day, so especially when I started doing studio vlogs, because when you have so much footage and you have to like remember what day it's from, that can be confusing too. So basically now what I do every day or every couple of days, I copy all of my footage from my camera and I put it on my computer and I just edit it that day. So it could be in the morning before work, or before you go to bed, or when you have 5 minutes, you know, when the puppy's sleeping or the baby's sleeping, just fit it in. And by the end of the week you'll have your vlog edited, and you probably wouldn't even remember editing them. I can barely remember editing them when I do it like that, and it's pretty fun. Alright, next up, a little bit of organization. I'm not the most organized in the world, but keeping your files organized is definitely key. So let's pop onto the computer and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I always have the name of my video, in this case it's a vlog, and then the date, and then inside this folder we have a few different folders. So sometimes it can be a little bit like folderception, where there's just like folders and folders and folders, but it does help keep things tidy. So the most important one, export, I always like to keep it at the top so that you can pop your video here and also your thumbnail. Then there's audio for music and voiceover, images for any images that you want to put on screen, like overlays or anything. Source, which is just kind of a strange one. It's one that we use at work. We call it source, so it's like a source file. So this could be anything like Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere, any kind of like file that you would open with a project to kind of do your work. That's where I put this. And the last one is videos. So when I first started doing vlogs, I would actually put all of my videos in one folder, and then I would bring it into Premiere and organize it like that. And then I thought, April, that's dumb. Why don't I put them into different folders, and then I can bring all of those into Premiere or whatever your editing software is, and you have it all nice and neat like this. So I've got all the days of the week. Sometimes I don't use all the days, sometimes I just use 3 days, but you know, I always like to number them, and then that way when I bring them into whatever software I'm editing with, it's nice and organized, so I know exactly what day which footage belongs in. So this is a fake folder, but I'll show you a real folder. So this is an example of kind of like a real life project. This was my vlog that I did last week, and you can see there's actually Monday at the bottom here. That's because I filmed it on Monday when I was uploading the vlog, just to say goodbye. So in here I have all my videos, and you can see I haven't named any of them. These ones with the strange names are from my phone. And I used to go through and name all the videos. Like I would watch a video and I would say run in the park, or intro or speed paint 1 or something. But now, because I've got them organized into days, it's really easy. They're all like numbered, so it's just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just bring them in and edit them as you go. So organization, it's a good thing. Okay, so you have all of your footage, it's all saved into your computer and you're ready to go. So what do you use to edit? I don't know about you guys, but I use the Adobe Creative Cloud. So I use Premiere, After Effects, sometimes Photoshop and stuff to do like overlays and thumbnails and stuff. So basically I'm lucky, I've had it. I know it's expensive. If you guys don't have it, like, you don't need it. There's also programs out there. Some people even use their phone, their iPads. So a lot of this stuff can be kind of like moved over to those types of software. But I'm gonna open up Premiere and we're gonna have a look at what I do. If some of you guys use Premiere, maybe it'll help you out. Okay, so now we are in Premiere, and this is actually the vlog that I just finished. This is what it looks like when it's in Premiere. So you can see on the left here, I've got my project, I've got all of my folders exactly how you saw them in the folder. You just drag them over, it works perfectly, brings everything in, keeps the folder structure, and then all you have to do is literally drag the video in. So pretty simple. If you guys edit videos, you'll probably be, oh, well, that's a good look. You'll probably be very familiar with this setup. So you have your images, you got your sound. Here we have no sound because I was drawing that day. And here, screen capture that one. Here we have some footage, and then over the top on this line here I've put some extra footage. So this is kind of like what it looks like when it's layered, but let's not stop there because that wasn't a good look. Alright, so let's say we bring in the very first footage. It looks great. You look great, your footage looks great, everyone that watches it is gonna love it. But you're thinking, the background looks a bit yellow. So what I would definitely suggest, and I do this every time I bring any piece of new footage in, is change the color. Because when you start editing and cutting up the footage and then at the end you think, oh, you know, the white balance is off, you'll have to go through and change every single piece of footage that you cut. So I like to change the color first. Up here you can see a whole bunch of different settings, like this editing, it changes all your layout. My favorite is always color, and let's find a better look than this. Oh, perfect. So you can see this was shot kind of like a weird time of day, very yellow. So my favorite thing is I only do a couple of things in here. First is white balance, and I'm not a pro at changing the color. Sometimes I get it pretty good, but then in the next shot it's like a bit shit. So definitely not an expert, still working through it. If you get this sort of white balance here, you click what's meant to be white, the wall, and it will change. So you can see here it changes from the blue and the tint, the temperature and the tint. You can adjust it. I always like to make myself a little bit yellow, so if I hit that, it's a little bit blue. I always meant to give myself a little bit of a glow, you know, so it looks like I just got off the beaches of Ibiza. The next one I really like to use is exposure. You have to be careful with this. A little bit goes a long way. That's too much. So depending on the time of day, you know, in England it's dark for about 16 hours a day, so you normally have to fiddle with the exposure. So just change it a little bit, and then, I mean, you can go through and change anything you like. I normally just do the white balance, the exposure, and sometimes if the shadows are a little dark, which enough that it is because we only have windows on one side of the building, I do like to change the shadows up. That's about it. So in the effect controls, you can see everything you've done, and there's a little FX here, which means it's got an effect on it. You can turn it off, you can turn it on, see what it looks like, you know? Pretty cool, huh? And then you're ready for the next step, which is cutting the footage up. So everyone knows how to cut footage up. You just slice it, dice it, move it around. The most important thing I think in any program on the computer is shortcuts. So I remember when I was in uni and we were learning Photoshop and Illustrator for the first time, because I was going to go into graphic design, but I didn't in the end. Our tutor told us that even though it's very, very slow to begin with using shortcuts, because you have to learn them all, that it's a lot faster in the long run to learn all the shortcuts. And to this day, if I'm in Photoshop, I don't know where to find anything in the menus because I just use shortcuts. So, humble brag. Right, so back into the footage. A couple of my favorite shortcuts. C is cut. So you just press C. You can see the tools on the left here. So you can hover over them. They'll tell you what the shortcuts are. So you just press C, you click, and you see how this bit here is selected that we want to cut. The next shortcut, don't remember what it's called, but it's Alt Backspace, and that deletes. So let's say for example we want to get rid of this little bit in the middle. If we Alt Backspace, it deletes it and it moves the footage like exactly up to where the blue line is, which is like the cursor thingy. If we don't do that and we just delete it, we're going to take this footage, you're going to drag it. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it goes in. It's really annoying, honestly. And it's just a little bit of extra time that you're saving yourself. If you have multiple footages on top of each other, let's say we come in and we bring in this to go on top. We want to have a bit of an overlay of me looking at my bullet journal, but we don't like this section here. If you select all of them and you press Ctrl K, that cuts all of them together, and then you can just Alt Backspace. Ta-da! It's amazing. I don't know why my computer keeps dinging at me. I'm sorry. I'm saying I'm doing something wrong, but I'm clearly not. I'm actually a pro at this. Okay, so you've got your footage of yourself talking. You look great because you changed your colour. You cut all the ums and the ahs out and all the bits where you're babbling about how awesome you are at printing stickers. And you got it nice and succinct. People are going to love it. But now you want to bring in a different piece of footage. Maybe it's a speed paint or something you want to speed up. So that's super simple as well. You just bring it in. And in the effect controls, which is on the left here, you can do lots of crazy stuff to your footage. You probably only ever want to do a couple of things. One is rotate, so this is upside down. Another one is scale, and I use this sometimes, especially when I'm in the kitchen and I can see the cooker just on the periphery and I haven't cleaned it. Just scale it up a little bit. Double click, you can see this little circle here, which means you can move it. Move it to the side. Bob's your uncle, don't even need to clean your cooker. Alright, so I'm talking. It's really boring. Just shut up, April. I want to get rid of the audio. I want to put some nice music and I want to speed it up. So first steps first, let's get rid of the audio. So when you're in Premiere and you select a track, you get the video, which is at the top here, and the audio, which is at the bottom. To separate them, you just right click and you come up with this whole bunch of options. Some of that I never use, I don't even understand what half of it is. Two of them that I really enjoy is unlink, which basically means they're not linked together now. So you can move this, you can delete this, done. And the next one is speed duration. This is a really fast one for speeding things up. So let's say I want to go 1000%. Now it's really fast. If I show my speed and drag this up here, you can actually keyframe the speed using the speed time remap in here. So this is a little keyframe. It basically marks a spot 100%. And if I go forward, I can drag this line up. Oh, now it's going 800%. So basically it would jump from 100 to 800%. If you want a nice, slow, you know, groove it up to 800, you just drag these two apart and you can see the little heels here. So this goes 100 and then it will just ramp up to 800. This is what I used to do, guys. When I first started making YouTube videos, I was like super fancy. I had all the music in, I had all the gentle speed timing, whatever. No, I don't have time for that. I'm sure you guys don't have time for that either. So a simple adjustment with the speed, no one's gonna notice. It's gonna be perfect. Okay, you guys are probably wondering, what about text, April? I don't actually use text in Premiere, but I do know how to add it. So down here there's a little new item and you can add a whole bunch of stuff on here. The names don't make any sense. If you just want a single colour, it's called Colour Matte. So you can change whatever colour you want. Say you have a lovely yellow as your brand colour. You can make a new colour matte, call it yellow. And now you have a lovely yellow background. So if you want to do like an intro with a colour, or if you have an image, you can pull an image in. Text is super easy. There's just a text button here. You can just drag it out. My amazing vlog. You can animate this as well. I don't know how to animate in Premiere. I don't do it. But I will leave some links that I've found for you in the descriptions below on how to like do some simple text and stuff. But I never use it. I use After Effects just because that's what I use at work. And that's what I've learned how to animate in. But one more thing before you leave Premiere. or before you render your video is music, which you probably want to include in your video at some point. I know some people's studio vlogs are basically all just music. Mine, I try not to do hardly any music because I really hate finding music. So I'll bring in my music track, and this is a little bit of packing orders that I had. So it will come in and it will be 0 dB, which is decibytes. I don't know what dB is. It'll be 0 anyway, whatever it is. And if you have music when you're talking, you're definitely going to want to take down your dB, because you won't be able to hear yourself talking. And I've had this a couple of times on my videos where I have exported it out and I've been listening to it and I can barely hear myself, and I've had to like re-render again. Not nowadays, because I hardly ever have music. That's another good reason to not ever have music in your video. But if you do choose to, definitely take it down. The way that you can do that is you click on your sound and there's a little 00 here, and you can literally just put in whatever number you want. So say for example we're talking and we want it to be -20, but then we want it to go up. We just literally do a keyframe, kind of like what we did earlier with the ramping of the time, and now it's going to go from -20 when we're having a good chat to 0, so it's nice and loud when we're packing out orders, and that's another good thing. So if you click to audio up here, you can actually listen to the audio bar, and I was always taught when I was learning this that you should keep it like at 12. So if you listen to me talking, I'm a little bit over, but basically the way you match your audio levels is you just have to kind of like do this. You can either listen to it or you can look at the bar. So say for example this was super loud, like 5, and this was lower. So here we have my audio is quite low, and then we jump into the music and it's like crazy. It's like blowing the roof off. This is when your viewers are going to be quite uncomfortable because the sound shift is a bit dramatic. So that's another hot tip from Monkey. Try and keep your audio levels roughly the same, just so it's a bit more pleasurable to listen to for your viewers. So now we're in After Effects, and it's a little bit different than Premiere. So I have this project, and it's a template project, and basically what it has in it, if I turn off this layer here, it has my intro, which is this, and this is its own animation. So this basically animates on like this, and that's where I put my video. Fantastic. It also has a few more things in. It's got all of my days of the week here, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It also has a little bit of text that I just copy and paste every now and then right at the back here it has my outro, which is basically this. Super simple. So this comp here is actually a project file, which is from Premiere. So instead of rendering out a video and bringing that into After Effects, you can actually open up your Premiere file, and you just open it up and it will say, it will like, this is your sequence that you edited everything together in, and you can open it up and it will come in like this, and you can just drag it down, and this is all your video. So this is basically reading from Premiere but in After Effects. I know, magic. So a couple of things that you guys probably want to do on your videos is have an intro and an outro. Some people don't, they just have like welcome to the vlog and like an overlay, which is totally cool. And if you would like an intro and outro, it's probably really cool to make like a little animation or a little video, render that video out, or have it in like a template project file like I have, and then you never have to worry about it. Like, it's always there. You can just drag it into whatever video you want and it'll just be there for you. The same thing for like overlays. Like, I have days of the week and I just change the date on them. Music and outros, things like that, text. If you just kind of keep everything together in like a template, like an empty project file, and then you can bring in new footage every week and just resave it out as a separate file. Super handy and a super time saver. So you're basically not starting from a blank page, you're starting from like a colouring page. You just fill in the colours. Okay, so I'm not going to go over any like shortcuts or anything in After Effects, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably won't be using this because it's not really an editing program. I just use it because I'm comfortable with it. What I like to do for my days of the week is super simple. It's this little transparent video here, and I just have a little blue like image. I think I did this in Procreate and I just brought it in. It's literally just this blue square. I brought it in from Procreate and then I've just animated it on with a mask. It's super simple. Like, a monkey could do it, and look, a monkey did do it. And like I mentioned below, I'll leave links to a couple of videos below to help you guys do that. And then one last thing I want to talk about before I go is branding. So my branding isn't exactly like top notch or anything, I'm still working on it, but one good thing that I really think is good is to have a good color, like a color that is associated with you, and also a song that's associated with you. So I always have this teal, and also I'm trying to bring yellow into my branding now. So we've got teal and yellow as the intro. And another very important thing that I find is super helpful for me is to have my own little jingle. You can get free audio online, or you can get a subscription. What I did when I first did my YouTube channel is I went on to Audio Jungle, which is kind of like a stock music site, and I actually bought a song. So my song is called Ukulele Logo, and I have a 10-second version, a 3-second version, and a 5-second version, which I have popped into my intro. So at the intro it says do 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 do, and then at the end it's a little bit longer, and it just plays at the end so people know the video's ended, and it kind of like links it back to me. Those two things I think are super key, to have like a color, a really strong color. You don't need to have your whole color palette figured out. Maybe you'll really like pink, and then find yourself a little song. It didn't cost me much, it cost me maybe £12, and I've used it for like 3 years, so definitely worth it. And then the last thing about kind of your branding is your thumbnails, and I'm really lazy with thumbnails. So this was my most recent vlog, and it's pretty boring as far as thumbnails go, I think. Let's say you wanna just be lazy like me, find a really good picture. So you've gone through your footage, you found the most amazing photo of yourself, one that's gonna scream, click me, I'm amazing at making studio vlogs. So how do you get this out? It's really easy. There's a little camera button down here. So I always make sure that I'm on full on the resolution. I click the little camera, and basically you can save it. So just save this as beauty shot JPEG. You can pick where you want to save it to, and you click OK. It comes in absolutely massive, but we can shrink it down. I've got so many of these now, I don't actually know. Perfect. Perfect thumbnail. That'll be next week's one. Alright, so yeah, that's it. You got your thumbnail, you got your vlog edited, you got your free music, you got your overlays, you've got your intro and your outro saved, you got your little branding done, and you got your thumbnail. So you're pretty much ready to go. So again, I'm not expert in editing or in making studio vlogs. I just do what I like to do, cut corners when I can, and try and get something a little bit fun, a little bit entertaining out for you guys. So I hope that you even got even the tiniest little bit of help from this video. That'll make me very happy. This isn't really the type of videos that I normally do. If you guys have been watching my videos for a long time, I'm not really a tutorial kind of person, but I wanted to make this collab with Emma just so we can have like part 1 and part 2 of making the studio vlog. Make sure that you check out both of our videos and let us know what you think, and if you guys have any tips on how you make your studio vlogs, let us know in the comments. So that is all from me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.